Greetings, brethren, sistren, heathens, degenerates. Welcome back to yet again another episode of Brother Darius. I thank y'all for joining. I am Brother Darius, and this is the Book of Darius. Get my tongue twisted sometimes. So what are we going to talk about this week? You know, I talked in the past episodes, y'all have heard me talk about Mexico very often, and it ain't coming from a place of hate. I feel sorely sorry for the people who are fleeing that place to come up here. And the big story this week, if you've been hiding under a rock, as a lot of y'all do, you get your news from the book face or the space something. You don't pick up a paper. How dare you maybe tune into a website to give you the actual news. But 4 souls from America traveled south to Mexico. One old girl, she was going to get her a tummy tuck, it says. Some kind of plastic surgery. She get it on discount rate, I guess, in Mexico. And 4 souls crossed that border, and 2 of them came back. And I've said before, folks, if you don't know, it is a war zone in Mexico. It is a war zone. Some of y'all got that hate in your heart, or why all these Mexicans coming up here to our country, taking our job and changing our culture and speaking their language. That's why. It is a war zone in Mexico, no doubt. These folks traveled, crossed the border 15 minutes later. Supposedly, I don't know the whole details. I think more are going to come out on that story as time passes, but got caught up in a cartel gunfight and was innocent bystanders, and 2 of them got killed, drug up into a pickup truck, and then driven off to a shack somewhere and found later. And mind you, folks, ain't nothing racial about this story. Some of y'all want to say because of the 4 souls that went down, they're all African Americans. We're gonna touch on all the people who go down to Mexico from America here in just a little bit. And one thing I find, dare I say, comedic and funny, ain't about the victims, not at all. Apparently the cartel was highly displeased with these young men who decided to kill these folk and then capture them and take them away. They wrote an apology letter. they rounded these fools up and took them down to the sheriff's office, beating them up and handcuffed them. You got think about that, folks. The cartel drove to the police station and dropped these old boys off with a letter from the cartel saying, hey, we are so sorry. We apologize. This is not the kind of organization we are trying to run here, folks. These young men were undisciplined. We did not tell them to do this. Ain't how we conduct business, all right? Now, we into the drugs and escorting people across the border and as much fentanyl as y'all can take up your nose to smoke. But these boys right here, they ain't living up to our standards. They undisciplined, and we're happy to hand them over to you. All is well now. Everybody go along the way. Nothing to see here. It is the most craziest thing I've ever heard, and it goes to show you how corrupt things are down there. That the criminals can drop off other criminals and still be able to get back up in that car and go away. All good. It's okay. Could you imagine in our country if the head of the Bloods or the Crips or the Italian Mafia or whatever had done something like this and show up at the police station? Hey, this is Scarface Billy. We dropping him off for you. He don't represent our way of living. He violated our code by shooting someone down there in the corner the other night. We sell crack. We ain't into killing. It's just preposterous to me. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's just tragic. And if you ain't aware of what's going on down there, you pick up something, read the news, folks. And what's sad to me is when you look at the fact that we got folks, look at who's coming to us and why they're coming to us, why they are heading north. The refugees here, they fleeing because they got to find some peace. They got a country ran by gangsters. Completely ran by gangsters. The politicians are scared of the gangsters to the point of where the cartel is saying, we got higher standards than you. We hold our people to a high standard. And the people are just fleeing out of there, trying to come up here for a better life. They just want some peace. They want to be able to live their lives free of corruption, free of shootouts on the streets. It's like the Wild Wild West. They just want to come here for a different life, a better life. And then you look at who we are. Who are our people who are going south, going across their border? Now, it's easy to pick on this poor, unfortunate group that went down there last week because it's all over the news. But look at what we're going down there for. Plastic surgery. Oh, you're picking on these? No, not because you look at us, white folks, and everybody else for that fact, spring breakers, going down to the resorts, going to Cancun, and they're going down to, woo! Putting the stuff all out there and drinking it up and going crazy for a week on spring break. Yay! And then you got us, the old folks, the rich people too. They want to go down on a vacation on the resorts and they're happy to have Pablo or Juanita bringing them their drinks with the umbrella in and sit there and pretend that right outside that resort which that resort is a dot on the map compared to everything else in Mexico. Right outside them walls is poverty and violence and criminality and a lot of sick individuals. But we want to get down there and sit and enjoy our cocktail, our margaritas and our Coronas, and it's sad. And the reason it's sad is our focus is jacked up. American focus is what I'm talking about, and I'm speaking to Western civilization for that fact. We are so jacked up with our focus. People there coming here for peace. We going down there for tummy tucks and getting liquored up and getting drugs out the wazoo. You can go to the pharmacy down there and pretty much get painkillers, whatever you need. And that's what we go there for, because we are jacked up in our focus. So the chapter and verse we're going to talk about this week, folks, is Philippians chapter 4, verses 4 through 8. Philippians chapter 4, verses 4 through 8. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Not just once. I'm saying it twice. Rejoice. Let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Be careful for nothing, but to everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. That ain't difficult to understand. A lot of people say, well, the Bible's difficult, Brother D. I can't understand it. And all these big words, and it's difficult to understand. But first of all, in verse 4, he says, rejoice. Rejoice means be glad, be happy, be positive, have a positive mind frame. Verse 5, he talks about moderation. He says, let your moderation be known. That's what we talk about every week. When I say people are going to read your book, the book of Darius. People read the book of Darius every day. When I go to work, when I go out in public, they're watching me. They want to see, is there something different about Brother Darius? The same way I read their books too. We judge people all day long, folks. So let's not pretend we don't. So what does moderation mean? Equitable, fair, mild, gentle, suitable. And only time this word appears in the Bible. That's very important, that this is the only time the word moderation appears in the Bible. So that's an important word when it only shows up once. So moderation, equitable, fair, mild, gentle, suitable. Live your life suitable and let it be known to people. Let them be able to read it and soak it in. And verse 6, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto God. So don't be afraid of nothing, but at the same time, be aware of everything and be in prayer about it so that you can be comfortable within God. We're going to pause right here. I hope y'all come back so I can conclude this and wrap it up and see what this chapter and what these verses mean to you in your life and how you can apply them. I'll see you soon. Thank y'all.